EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Mike, 315. Coming to you.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Rolling to his right. He's got his man here as Gary Jennings Jr. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
Mike, 380.
Mike, 27. Yeah. We don't want no. 19.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
At their 48-yard line.
Mike, 280.
Mike, 51.
Play action. It's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for, but this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
Set. 180.
Mike, 54. Mike, 54. Here we go.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Check back. Right there.
3rd and long. It's Newton. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 2nd and 15 now. Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Seahawks 7, Saints nothing. Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Newton. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 there, and a New Orleans first down.
Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Newton on first down. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, good for his Saints first down. Now Newton on first down. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. Penny, a first down carry. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Seahawks Saints nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Cam fakes the give and keeps it. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup.
54 is mine. Check.
From the 17, Newton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now Newton. And that will be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. The kick by Lutz is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And some space here. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
The sack on first down took him out of a traditional running play and put him in a passing situation, but didn't stop him from running anyway, did it?
No, I was surprised when he took off. I thought, oh, he's got some space. He might pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. He goes all the way and picks up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check 15.
Wilson leaves this one with Penning. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
At the 41-yard line.
Cut. 380.
Man left. Everyone got 4 down.
From the 41, Wilson flushed out right. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Let's go! At their own 18-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
At the 18-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, here's Newton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. On first down, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. The Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result?
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Newton now to throw. On the move to his left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
They go play action with Wilson. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Flush to his right, and he's going to keep it here. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Mike,
Mike 5-4.
get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Slam, slam, slam. Bang, bang, bang.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Now a give, right side. It's Carson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Ready?
Brings up 2nd and 11.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
20.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton stepping up. He's going to keep it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
At the 44-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Squeeze, double.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. He finds Coleman. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. From the red zone now, Newton. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Newton, and it's caught. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the 1st half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. To the air again, Newton. And he's got it. Braxton Berrios, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz good on the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now Rashad Penny. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now, they'll run it again with Penny. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 17-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Marshawn Lattimore right there on the coverage. He was draped all over it. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing again here. Wilson escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
A 33-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Elsewhere, second half action at Heinz Field. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 57's Mike. Mike 57. Exit. Wide.
Gun.
Throwing again. Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
57's the Mike. 57's the Mike. Let's go, Heavy.
Operating from the gun. Newton. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
Here we go.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's Newton. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a 1st down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson forced out to his left. He'll try and run it. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
Mike 27, Mike 27. Check Mike 27. Check Mike.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for a sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. What that? Check curls. Begin.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back to what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. To throw again. Newton. It's caught by Coleman. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing is Newton. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here we go on 4th. Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Grenade! Gotta go, in and out, let's go. Kill. Turn up. Kill.
They'll toss it to Penny. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. On the run, it's Penny. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now Newton. And he'll complete this one to Barrios. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now it's Newton. And Thomas has it. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Back to throw, Newton. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Lutz with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So the victory here for Seattle, and I tell you, this was a fun one, just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game, and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal. Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for the Seahawks, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.